Hello everybody and welcome back to Kayla Plans. It's been a little while since I filmed a video. Life has been crazy, as I know most of you know. But I wanted to come in and do a flip of my Hobonichi Cousin that I use specifically for school for January. So if you are new here, welcome, and I would love it if you would consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get started here. So I do have a new cover here. I had actually ordered this one as I have now another Hobonichi Cousin that I use for personal. I was using a Weeks, it just was not working for me. I ordered this one. It said it was going to be white, and it's more of a cream color, so that bothered me a little bit. So I swapped out. The green now is on my personal, and then this more cream white is just my school one, which stays home. So that doesn't bother me as much. So just got some deco in here as usual, some sterling ink vellum, little card here from Planner Press, Caffeine and Paper Co. die cut, more sterling ink, that's a freebie from Queen City Design Co., some flags from Paper Panda, and then another Caffeine and Paper Co. die cut here. I don't have anything in these little pockets yet, or the back one. I likely won't. I don't use it very often unless I have something I need to carry with me. I did put the Sterling Ink February sticker monthly here on the front just to be able to quickly open it up and take a look at that if I wanted to. So my deco has not changed in any of this here. It's still all the same. Still not quite using this. I was going to start marking some important dates, but I just haven't gotten around to it. It's been crazy busy between school and work and life, so I may have tipped these in since my last video. It's just a Planner Girl acetate that I just tipped in. It still has the holes from an A5 rings, but it works. Looks cute in there. Still using this Calendex here as an index for my daily pages. My brain is not working this morning. And that's working out great. It's allowing me to be able to see where like my weekly overviews are for my schooling. So every Monday, usually, this one was a Tuesday because I'm an idiot, but typically every Monday I'll go in and I'll write down every single assignment, and I'll show that when I get there. And then this way I can go back to it. I know where I'm looking for it, and can just verify that I've got everything done. Okay, so here is January's monthly. I did do very minimal deco here, just some washi tape, and I believe these are some sterling ink stickers. And how I use this is I go through my syllabus at the beginning of the year, and all the big important dates get put here for due dates. So like spring semester began on the 10th, so I wanted to make sure that that was in there and noted. And then I have a color code. I have 5 classes this semester, which is kind of insane. But I'm really excited to get through my bachelor's degree and not have it take years and years. It's still going to take me probably about 2.5 years to finish, but that's better than 5, 6, 8 years that it took me to get my associate's degree. So I do the color code here, and those were the only major ones I had. It was for one class, so that was nice. All right, so let's flip to the beginning of January here. So I did tip in some more vellum here. I love this one because I'm addicted to that feeling of having my shit together from Planner Press. I believe this is a Poi and Hun vellum. just tip that in since that's the start of that next month. School was not going on yet, and because this is dedicated to school, I chose to just leave this empty. And then this is the first week of school here. So what I started off with was obviously color coding. So all 5 classes have a different color designated to them. I use a Tombow. I did write in my work schedule so that I would know what days I can do more homework, what days I need to have it less, so that I can get things done in a timely manner. And then I have a little important sticker here, and I just did some cloth and paper dot stickers here and just my to-dos that I wanted to make sure I got done. And then I just started entering everything here. Now this was the first week in a Hobonichi Cousin, and it was the first week of school. So as you'll kind of see as I progress through the weeks, things change pretty considerably. As I kind of found my groove, figured out what's working, I'm still changing things up a little bit in a way that works for my brain and being able to keep things all together and cohesive, because this kind of is all scrunched together. Everything's right there. Yes, it's color coded so I can see what things are, but it also didn't take up much space either. So I have all of this space that I can use that I just didn't. So then we move on to the second week of school here, and I really like the way that this turned out. So instead of doing a full highlight here, I highlighted, put in the name of the class, or the classification of it, and then wrote down my to-dos for that day. This one is really hard to see. It's a light gray Tombow, and I found that I actually have to do it twice to be able to see it a little better. But I was still getting into how to work with this Tomoe River paper, which I love. Again, I did my work schedule up here just so I could see that these days I needed things to be less than, say, these days where I knew I was home and would have all day to be able to focus on my studies. I've got some Paper Panda stickers, some Caffeine and Paper Co., some more Sterling ink. Sterling ink is my favorite. I love these kits in here. It's just gorgeous. I love florals, and these are just absolutely gorgeous. So what I do is typically at the beginning of the week, so I'm still going strong here. I've still got my A5 Stology. So this is where everything gets written first, and then from here it gets transferred to here. That way I'm not missing anything. I can see when things have been moved because I check it off on here when it's been moved to here, which means it's been scheduled. And that works really, really well for me. It does feel a little redundant sometimes, but I far too easily lose track of what I need to do. This way, it kind of ensures that I don't do that because I'm writing it down in various places and checking it off, making sure things are getting where they need to go. So then in here, once I've completed a task, I just check it off here, then I know it's done. We'll move on to the last week of January here. So this week I had written my work schedule up here. This week I just took some work stickers and then in the sidebar again, because I don't use it for anything else, I wrote down my work schedule so I knew what I had going on here. Some more Sterling ink stickers. This was a little note to myself to pay attention to the syllabus because things had been written down one way and I had actually done that plus more, which is not all that big of a deal. but I wanted to make sure that I was noting to pay attention to where I was going. Again, this week, I really just liked putting in the colors. I did stop putting in the name of the class because at this point, it's been a few weeks. I'm pretty well aware of what each color symbolizes in here. Plus, I've got a little key on my desk that allows for me to quickly glance and see, okay, this is for men, women, and society. And then I can just do that. It keeps it a little cleaner, less I have to write. Not that writing is a big deal. I love to write. Another thing is, doing due dates, whatever is due that week, and then on whatever day. So those are my weeklies. I have changed it up for February. When I do my February flip, I'll show that and compare how I've moved from this to similar but better for me. All right, so let's move on to the January pages here. All right, so here I've just got, again, some sterling ink stickers, and then I tipped in, apparently not very well, vellum from sterling ink as well. So again, school didn't start until the 10th, so I've got a lot of empty pages here, but I'm not mad about it. I have found that going back and being able to use these blank pages when I need them is great. It works out really well. This was the day before spring semester started. I hate my writing here, but it's still cute. Okay, so the dailies are very similar to the weeklies, but it's another place where I can add in more information. So I worked this day, so obviously I didn't have too much written down. Wanted to make sure I mapped out my homework for the week. There are times where it'll be a Tuesday and not all of my assignments are up yet. And so I may not be able to map it on a Monday or a Sunday like I like to. I did do a little bit of, I wouldn't say journaling, but just little blurbs about the day here with some more sterling ink stickers. Some more blank pages. I like having spaces to do important notes. So, like as I'm watching a lecture or going and looking for information on an assignment that we've got, I can go ahead and just write it in here, and then I have some place to look back on it. I believe I indexed this one as well because it was important information regarding this. I did my to-dos up here, which I really didn't like. I don't think I did this again. This space just does not feel like enough for one, and it's just awkward with the way I want to set it up. I typically don't use my weekends because I'm not usually working on homework on the weekends. There are times when I'll just make notes for myself. And then here's an example of my Monday overview. So I'll have my to-do for the day, and then I'll break down each class and write down everything that's due for that week on this page. So then this gets indexed because this is where I'll come back every day during the week of this class, and maybe even later, just to make sure that I had checked off and got my homework done. So this is a great way for me to be able to see all of the class information here, whereas Histology is each class specific. So it's not a weekly overview for all the classes. It's a weekly overview for each specific class. So then I can take this and move it here, and then I can see everything that I have to do for the week here. Here I just did some to-dos for that day. And just some washi tape here, a sticker, I think that was from a freebie I had gotten. Again, here was the to-do. I just said see weekly. I did not put anything here. I was also exhausted that day. I had worked, we had bowling that night, and then homework. I was exhausted. And then I just made a note to myself, try not to have to watch all lectures in every class on one day. That was rough. that was very rough. Here is just some notes on some different assignments. I was watching one of my lectures and she had stated what we have upcoming, so I made sure to write that down. My tasks or to-do list here, I did put in how long each lecture was. That way I knew kind of where to go, what time I needed to set aside for that specific lecture. Here was just a super not busy day. I did have some to-do lists here. Here I had realized I had missed a discussion post, so that was a big oops for me. I don't think I've ever done that before. And again, Saturday and Sunday I don't typically use. Here's another example of a Monday overview. Some information on a reflection we had due. I did have a paper tipped in here that had some information until I had finished it. So I had C paper here because it was tipped in and I didn't end up needing it for very long. Here's my to-do list. I do really like this split of to-do list and then notes or my weekly overview, whatever that looks like for the day. Tuesday, again, we had some lectures to watch, some homework to do. That Tombow is so hard to see. Some information on next week. This was a no homework day, so this was that Wednesday that, or another Wednesday that I was exhausted. Work, bowling, homework, not a good combo. Capping and paper sticker, I just love this. Here is another to-do list. I like this, so I turned in a couple homework pieces here, and then actually left a spot here to see what my grades were. I have toyed around with the idea of this front page here for the month kind of being a running grades list for the month. So I may do that for March. I haven't done it for February, but we'll see what I do there. I love this washi tape. I think I got this from Amazon in a vintage washi set. I just love it. It's one of my favorites. And this was, nope, not today. This was another example of, so a Saturday that I didn't have anything that I was working on. So we have a paper that is due coming up for one of my classes. And this was just ideas that I wanted to write down, look at, see what I could create a topic out of this for. I actually did put some washi tape on the edge here as kind of like a marker for where to go for that. So that was indexed as well. And then this was just some important information on a couple of other big assignments. I like having it here. I know I have my syllabus. I use it to reflect on all the time, but writing it down and having it in my own writing helps me to interpret the information and be able to make sure that I'm understanding it. When I'm writing it typically in my own words so that I know that I'm understanding. So here's another Monday where I had my to-do list, ideas for the paper, and then my overview for the week. I added in this, oh my gosh, what is that? Sticky note. Wow. And that was just one of my ideas that I had transferred over to here to kind of narrow that down. Just use some washi tape, some more sterling ink stickers here. And then we're to February. So those are my January pages in my Hobonichi Cousin for Strictly School. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I hope you all have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you next time.